From the Australian Antarctic Program. Dramatic decline in Adélie penguins near Mawson. 11 October 2022. Long-term monitoring has revealed a 43% decline in a large Adélie penguin population off East Antarctic coast near Mawson Research Station over the past decade. The loss of some 154,000 breeding birds breeding across 52 islands along the 100-kilometer of coastline is in stark contrast to other populations in East Antarctica, where there have been long-term increases or stable population trends. It is also contrary to model predictions of a continued increase in this population following decades of sustained growth. A decline in fledgling survival during their first winter has exacerbated the speed of decline in the population of Adélie penguins off Mawson coast. Fledglings have no parental supervision when they first enter the Southern Ocean. Australian Antarctic Division seabird ecologists Dr. Louise Emerson and Dr. Colin Southwell said the rate of decline is similar to that in the Adélie penguin populations on the Antarctic Peninsula, which are subject to external pressures from fisheries, climate change, and human activity. However, the decline in the Mawson population is thought to have been triggered by changed environmental conditions and then exacerbated by internal feedback process within the population rather than direct human-related pressures. We think this population decline was initially triggered by 5 years of extensive summer sea ice adjacent to the colony in the mid-2000s, which hampered access to the adults' foraging areas and saw virtually no chicks survive, Dr. Emerson said. The frequency of these unfavorable breeding conditions subsequently remained high, and fledgling survival also began to decrease. These two processes together resulted in a more rapid population decline than would be expected if they had been acting in isolation. Dr. Emerson said it's possible that the smaller population becomes, the harder it may be for individuals to survive due to an increased risk from predators, or because smaller groups are not as good at navigating, foraging, and locating prey. This is especially important for young fledglings with limited life experience. It may be that the old adage of safety in numbers is playing out for the fledglings in the vast and harsh Southern Ocean, although exactly why and how needs further investigation, Dr. Emerson said. We estimate that this population has lost about 80,000 fledglings in a good breeding season compared to population peak in the early 2000s. In the deep end, Adélie penguin fledglings are literally thrown in the deep end at about 2 months of age when they leave the colony and enter the Southern Ocean for the first time without parental supervision. I remember watching fledglings enter the water for the first time, and they did this strange kind of breaststroke, as though they were trying to use their flippers to stand up. It was a completely new experience for them, Dr. Emerson said. When they first enter the water, they don't know how to swim. They have no predator avoidance behavior, so they are vulnerable to being eaten by leopard seals, and they're not efficient at catching prey. They're totally clueless about their marine environment, and because there are no adults to help them, they have to learn quickly or they don't survive. So while we don't know exactly what's driving the decline in fledgling survival in the Mawson area, the fact that there are less of them may compromise their chances of survival. Long-term modeling. Dr. Emerson said the next step was to continue research to understand the drivers of fledgling survival during their first naive winter journey at sea after they leave the colony, and ensure any resumption of fishery activities in the area is managed carefully. She said continued long-term monitoring across the environmental range where penguins breed was critical for early detection of population decline and for understanding population changes. Long-term monitoring of Adélie penguins by Australia near Casey, Davis, and Mawson research stations is also critical to decisions made by the Commission for the Conservation of Antarctic Marine Living Resources in managing krill fisheries and in considering the protection of terrestrial and marine areas. As this study shows, long-term monitoring allows scientists to uncover intrinsic factors involved in population decline that may be concealed by population changes caused by year-to-year variability in environmental conditions. This is critical to informing predictive population models that tend to focus on environmental drivers of population change. Model predictions based on external environmental factors alone may fail to accurately predict future population change and or underestimate the real impacts of climate change on species populations, Dr. Emerson said. Whether this Mawson penguin population stabilizes, continues to decline, or recovers remains to be seen. It is clear from this study, though that were possible, we are better off preventing impacts in the first place or trying to alleviate them before population decline is well established, or the process causing the decline becomes confounding and results in rapid population declines. This research is published in the Global Change Biology Today.